All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Welcome. Today, we're tackling something that honestly affects so many of us, but we barely ever talk about it out loud: meeting anxiety. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? That racing heart, the sweaty palms, that overwhelming urge to be literally anywhere else but in that conference room or staring at that Zoom screen. Well, today, we're going to break down a super practical, tactical roadmap to conquering those nerves. We're going to look at exactly how you can train your mind and your body to step into those spaces with absolute authority. Let's get to it. What if I sound stupid? Have you ever had that thought right before you were about to unmute your mic or speak up in a boardroom? It is such a visceral, intrusive thought, isn't it? It's that exact split second where you freeze up, you second guess all your expertise, and ultimately, you just decide to stay quiet. Look, if you've ever felt that way, you are completely normal, but we really need to address how to get past it. So, the big paradigm shift we need to make right off the bat is this. The goal is not to eliminate nervousness. It's simply to stay calm while you participate. Listen, you don't need some magic cure for anxiety. You don't have to suddenly become a person who never feels a flutter of nerves. That's impossible. You just need a toolkit to manage it so that the nervousness doesn't stop you from actually contributing. It's all about coexistence, not elimination. Section 1, before the meeting starts, preloading confidence. The foundation here is to prepare, but absolutely, positively do not overthink it. Just review the agenda ahead of time and jot down maybe 2 or 3 quick points you want to share. But here is the real secret weapon. Prepare a simple opening sentence. The reason this works so incredibly well is that it prevents that dreaded initial freeze-up. When the spotlight suddenly swings to you, you don't have to formulate some brilliant world-changing thought on the fly. You literally just read the simple sentence you already prepared. It gets your vocal cords working and completely breaks the ice. Another fantastic pre-meeting tactic is what I like to call the biological off switch. It's an incredibly simple breathing technique. It goes like this. You inhale for 4 seconds. You hold that breath for 2 seconds. And then you exhale slowly for 6 seconds. You're going to want to repeat that pattern about 3 to 5 times. Why? Well, because slow, deliberate breathing physically signals your brain that you are safe. When we get anxious, our breathing gets super shallow and fast, which basically tells our nervous system we're under attack. By forcing this 4-2-6 rhythm, you are acting as a literal off switch for panic. You are biologically hacking your body into a state of calm before the meeting even begins. Moving on to Section 2, actions during the meeting, tactical execution. All right, once you're in the room, your very first objective is to speak early and get a small early win. It does not have to be an earth-shattering revelation. It can be as simple as saying, "Good morning, everyone," or "I completely agree with that point," or even, "Hey, I have a quick update." You see, the longer you sit there waiting for the absolute perfect moment to say the absolute perfect thing, the more that anxiety just builds and builds inside you until it becomes this massive hurdle. Pop the balloon early with something small. Now, once you actually are speaking, remember this absolutely crucial piece of advice. Pause between sentences. A calm pace makes you appear way more confident. Anxiety naturally makes us want to rush, right? We just want to get the words out and get that spotlight off of us as fast as possible. So try to consciously slow down. Take a noticeable pause after you make a point. It completely counters that anxious urge to rush, and honestly, it projects incredible authority to everyone listening to you. And while you're speaking, your physical presence matters just as much. You need confident body language. Sit upright. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Drop them away from your ears. Make comfortable eye contact with the people in the room, or if you're remote, look right into the camera. And this is a big one. Avoid constantly checking your notes or your phone. Even if your stomach is doing backflips and you're churning with nerves on the inside, executing these physical cues allows you to project total confidence on the outside. That brings us to Section 3, the internal mindset shift, rewiring your thoughts. Okay, if you ever catch yourself thinking, "What will people think?" you need to recognize that as a toxic, entirely self-focused thought. It puts all the pressure on you being judged. We have to replace that immediately with a productive thought, which is, "My job is to contribute, not to be perfect." Do you see how freeing that is? It shifts your focus entirely away from your ego and places it firmly onto the work and the team where it belongs. The exact same pattern applies when an anxious thought screams, "What if I sound stupid?" You've got to catch that in real time and replace it with a grounded, confident truth. Everyone is focused on the topic, not judging me. You really have to actively catch those anxious thoughts in the moment and literally overwrite them with these confident truths. And here is the incredibly relieving truth that anchors this whole mindset shift. Most people in meetings are worried about their own performance. They are usually not analyzing your every word. I mean, it's the ultimate reality check. Everyone else in that room is likely just as focused on how they are coming across as you are. They are definitely not waiting with a microscope to dissect your sentences. Realizing this drastically lowers the stakes of the room and lifts just a massive mental burden off your shoulders.
All right, Section 4, Building Long-Term Confidence, the exposure game.
Here's the thing. Confidence isn't just a switch you flip. It's a muscle, and you build it over time through repetitive practice and exposure. So, in month 1, start small. Just volunteer for minor discussions to get used to the feeling of speaking up. By month 3, challenge yourself to gradually take on slightly bigger roles, maybe present a short update. If you do this consistently, by month 6, meetings can actually become a place where you feel genuinely confident instead of anxious. It's all about scaling up your exposure over time. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this absolute mic drop quote. I don't need to impress everyone, I only need to add a value. Wow. That is the ultimate mindset shift to walk away with today. If you carry that single sentence into every room you enter, I promise you, your anxiety is going to plummet. So I leave you with this final provocative question. How will you add value in your next meeting? Seriously, don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about impressing the room. Just use this tactical toolkit. Prepare your simple opening, use your biological off switch, speak early, slow down your pace, and just focus on adding your unique value. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I challenge you to put these tactics to the test the very next time you see a meeting pop up on your calendar. You've got this.